We just played that clip from a All-Star Jam we did with Robert Glasper and Anthony Hamilton and Hamiltones and all these amazing artists. And from day one when her career first started, when she first came out with the idea of Beautiful, I think it was, and I was doing a show on BET called One Shot, and I was hosting it and executive producer with my partner King Tech, Crooked Eye, and a guy by the name of Mike. And when it came down to the finale, I always tried to incorporate women into these projects, especially when it's culture driven. And at that time, to me, she was the best personification of the culture going. Who she was at that time, how she rapped, who she was down with, the whole nine. I could hear it in her bars that her future was going to be bright. But not only that, I knew that her future was going to be hard. Her journey was going to be a struggle because she has single-handedly carved out a space in her career and her journey that doesn't exist.
Right.
She's an anomaly. There's no one quite like her. She even says it in this album. Y'all don't mention me in your top 3 because I don't have a dick. And it's true.
Let's just be real.
It's true. It's true. And so what do you do with this anomaly? What do you do with a person who's not really following the trends that you see in most women who rap? Okay. What do you do with a person who's not following the trends and what rap deems most alluring and most appealing and has the most marketable viability? She doesn't fit that bill, right? What do you do with somebody who takes effort and concern and commitment in every bar that she writes? Because when you hear this album, you'll understand the connection, the thread that's running through each and every song, including the interludes, right? What do you do with that? What is that? For those who don't know, this is what the culture is all about.
Amen.
This is what hip-hop is all about. When you are not the status quo, when you don't go with the trend, you do go against the grain, you do look how you want to look, and that doesn't happen to look as everybody else look, and then you stay in the fight, regardless of the fact that they don't get it yet. Because when they do get it, it's going to rise like a phoenix. And ladies and gentlemen, what we are witnessing here is that rise. In the name of Please Don't Cry, it's time for the reawakening, citizens. You're going to get to know her like you never known her, but how we always wanted to get to know her. Please welcome Rapsody. 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 Rapsody.
Trying to make me cry for it.
You said please don't cry. You said please don't cry.
Come on. This album is Please Don't Cry.
Can't cry.
But
thank you so much, Sway.
Man. No, well, you know, we know. We know. Heather and I sit up here all the time, and she say, "Sway, they know we know." They can have all this discourse in a meaningless, substanceless discourse that generates metrics and analytics and all of that, but we know. It's something bigger going on than that. Your voice is so needed in this culture right now. It's a detriment. Everybody in every platform should be support. By the way, that Just Incredible freestyle was fucking crunchy, boy. That was
crunchy is crazy.
Shit, I was chewing on that shit. I love Just Incredible, but it's important. And I want to say this to you because we keep in contact, and I reach out to you. And you reach out to me because I never wanted you to give up. And I know the different stuff. I don't know everything, but I know how this game works.
Right.
That's why you don't see me in a lot of different places. I don't have to be. I know how some of that stuff works. So I'm proud of you for standing on your own and doing what you've done with this album, Please Don't Cry. Did that come from a quote?
Yeah, I was on Pinterest.
Pinterest, that's
one of my favorite places.
Pinterest, okay, that's.
I was looking for words to speak for me at the time.
Pinterest, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna sue you.
They be all right. That'll be a good problem if they can get something. Right.
Game.
Well, you can't get blood from a stone. Yeah. Sue me, please. I might win.
Yes.
All right, go for it.
But it was a quote that said, "No, please don't cry. You won't always feel so broken." And it was just something about that. Please don't cry, because I was really deep in my feelings, and just heartbroken. So I was just like, man, that's a beautiful title. Cause it's like, please don't cry, but no, I really should let this out.
Yeah.
You know, I really should allow myself to be human. And I just never left my mind. So when I started doing songs, it was the perfect title to express what I was feeling to me.
You started recording this album about the time of the pandemic, or when did it? So it's been a couple of years in the making.
No, I started in March of 2020.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's right. Ain't that
Right
when
before,
it was
March.
right when it started. I was on my last homecoming tour date, and they canceled my tour date, and I think we went into lockdown maybe 3 or 4 days later, if that. And I had my home studio, and I could record myself, so I didn't need an engineer, so I just started pouring out. You know? So I started that first weekend.
What was on your mind?
Everything, man. I had gotten out of a relationship, so I was heartbroken, trying to process that. And you know, when you processing heartbreak, it's like really a mirror that you can look at yourself, and you realize it's not about the other person. So you see all these things within yourself that you need to like address, to heal from, to unlearn and relearn, to hold yourself accountable for, to grow from. You know, that's what it was. So I was healing from the heartbreak, but you know, we were by ourselves. It was, you know, I didn't have anybody to be like, come. I had to do that by myself.
Yeah.
So I just sat in it and let that joint burn, like Usher say.
Let that joint, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. That should be hurting though.
Yeah, and you know, that music was the therapy for me.
That's what I was gonna say. After before the pandemic is when I came out of a long-term relationship. But that first year out of it, I learned more about myself than I did in the past 20 years.
So you understand.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
I was happy. I liked me. I didn't know if I would, you know what I mean? I liked me by myself. I didn't know if I would like me by myself.
We ain't like you. You came here miserable every damn day. Tell the rest of the story.
I ain't gonna say
I'm not sure
He telling it all. That's why I'm here, Rap. That's why I'm here.
Come on, let's be raw and vulnerable.
I'm not sure like your album.
Tell us how you was feeling.
Yo, I will.
Okay.
I'll try to. Okay, I don't know.
No pressure, you know.
Okay, nah, but your album, you tell us a lot about how you feel.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because that's where the connection happens, the relatability. And so how I felt when that happened initially, like a failure. Like I had invested all this time into this person and this relationship, and you know, at the end I didn't do enough to keep it going. That part right there. Yeah. And I didn't realize or not if it was meant to keep going, but I felt like a failure. Right? And so that first year I'm working, but I'm really working dysfunctional, because there was other stuff happening in my life with family members like yours, right? And so I couldn't deal with that feeling properly. So I had to let time heal it, you know, and just spend time with myself and be silent for a while. Yeah.
Well, you talking my language right now.
That's you. That's you.
Yeah, that especially that first year. Like, I don't think I left my room much unless I came out to work out. But I didn't listen to a lot of music. I didn't watch a lot of TV. I just really sat in silence and processed. You know, if anything, I was reading books, like self-help books, you know, learning how to self-love, and they were super helpful. But it was a lot of solitude.
Was that your first big heartbreak?
No,
or breakup?
No. But that it was a depth to it that I had never felt before, because it was special, because they kind of helped me on a journey to freeing myself from some things. And it was so deep, and I never had anybody to teach me how to grow and really champion me in that way. It was just way deeper, you know, and it was hard to lose. It's like, oh, I got to do this by myself now, or it was comforting, or it felt good. So, you know,
there's a song on the album where you talk about this. Makes me think about this. I don't know if this song is pertaining to that moment, but I would imagine that all your songs got a little bit of this in the DNA of it, right? This event that happened. In a song that one time, I'm gonna quote a lyric. And you tell me where you were, and it's just applicable. You say, I was experimenting. I've been known niggas lie. I found out so do women.
Right.
You were my one time. I came out different. My smile gone. I'm turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had been dating guys my whole life, right? And it was, and I had this one experience with a woman, and it was like that was what it was. It was different than anything I ever experienced, because women know women, like it's just different. So that's why it was so deep, and it was more of a safe place than I ever felt before. So it changed, it rewired me, and when it ended, I was stuck, like, you feel like a failure. So it's like, I've been dating all these guys and they've been dogging me, and I have this one experience and that didn't end well either. I got cheated on. So what is it about me that I'm not lovable? And that was the process. But I had to look, that's not, you have to learn to love yourself. So.
Shit. All right, damn, man. Rap. Wow. You talk about, I don't know, well, shit, since we're here.
Right.
You talk about, you also talked about laying in bed next to a married man.
Yep.
And how that weighed on your conscience.
Heavy. I've done several things I said I would never ever do in my life, and that's one of them that I'm not proud about and super disappointed. But through my healing and, allowing myself to be fearless and tell the story, I realized that nobody's really perfect, and a lot of people find themselves in situations like that they don't necessarily want to be, but feelings are feelings, because we're human at the end of the day. And I take accountability for it. But, I was in it, and when I was in it, I felt like I was stuck. It's like I have these feelings, but at the same time, my spirit is so broken because I'm not supposed to be doing this, right? And I stayed in it way longer than I should have because I put them before I put me, and, I'm not going to say they were a bad person, but they tell you things to keep you close. Deep down in your pit, it's not true,
They tell you things to keep you close. Yeah. What do they call that? That's
manipulation.
Manipulation. Right. Oh, thank you, Mike. Right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Emotional terrorist.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Tracy. I knew there was some words for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
and even if it was subconscious, I don't want to paint anybody with a bad picture, but it happens. You can subconsciously manipulate people because you're unhealed in yourself.
Right.
So, but that's just what it is. But I had to have the courage to free myself because I was so unhappy. I look back at pictures. I was like, no wonder I couldn't lose weight. I was holding so much.
You was holding so much weight, right?
Yeah.
When you look back at yourself at that time, you feel like you're looking at a different person?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. People look at me and they be like, yo, you got a glow.
You got a glow. You do have a glow, though, right? Y'all see that?
I can see it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Okay, you dove into also insecurities. You say never felt socially accepted or wanted physically. Got me changed and experimenting. I fell in love with her, never felt pretty or wanted by no niggas. So that's in reference to that person?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one experience that I had.
Yeah. You single now?
Yeah, I've been single since that last one. So I've been single since summer 2020.
Damn, you've been single for 4 years?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to date you. You're going to be stuck. She's going to be stuck. She's like me. She's going to be stuck in her ways. The whole, you got to.
What you mean stuck in my ways?
No room for compromise, Heather.
What?
I'm just. I just said I was focused. Like, Rap, you got to focus on you. Like,
okay.
I'm at a space where I'm open to it. A guy pushed up on me last week. I was like, I like how you came at me. Because I like a little street in my guy or whatever.
Okay.
And the guys today, like, let me DM you, and he came up like, yo, give me your number.
Damn.
Let me take you out Saturday. I was like, okay. Look.
Wow, that was a brilliant approach. Give me your number. That's all it took.
Yeah. Sometimes that's it. Like, who wants the bullshit? It's 2024, and it's a lot of to me. It just signifies a lot of confidence. Like, we gonna get straight to the point. What's good? What you doing Saturday? I want to take you out. What's your number?
Straight like that. First he was like, yo, I'm a big fan, but I got a little crush on you. And the guys was like, you got a little crush on Rap? You need to have a big crush on Rap. So then he had to step it up, but it was cute.
You gave him your number?
I did.
Dope.
It's release week, so I haven't really tapped into it. Yeah. But I am aware too that I still have trust issues. Yeah. Like I'm a little scared to go there because I've been hurt so much. I'm just like, I don't ever want to feel like that again. But you got it. I'm aware of it. I'm working on it. That's
Rhapsody is here, citizens. I'm loving this conversation.
And ain't nothing wrong with having trust issues.
Yeah.
I think that was part of the lessons, right?
Absolutely.
It's part of it. So that's fair.
Please Don't Cry is the name of the album. When you start the album, you're gonna hear a beautiful interaction with the lovely, magnificent, the honorable, iconic Phylicia Rashad.
Woo.
Yes.
Right, and she's on this project a couple of times. How did you even secure her to do this?
I thought it was gonna be way harder. Like me and my manager, Chantel, were talking the other day, and she was like, "You remember when we was reaching out to Phylicia, and you were like, if she says no, then let's reach out to this person." She was like, "I never thought about anybody else." So she found Phylicia's manager, and she just reached out, and the first thing they said was, "Let us hear music." And just the fact that they were thinking about saying yes, I was like, okay. Before I could send the music, they said, yeah, we'll do it.
They must have did their own research.
Maybe, I don't know.
You the one.
Yeah,
you're the one.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one. You're the one we need in this culture. And people like a Phylicia Rashad is going to hear your music and relate to that vibration.
Yeah.
You see what's going on in our culture, what's been going on there's a lot of beautiful things going on in our culture. I'm not knocking that.
But it's a lot of...
Yeah, the community need different food.
Yeah.
We need a balance of food that we're giving our kids when we make our music.
Absolutely.
And people are willing to stand by and be accountable for the effects of their music. Not say I'm not a role model or I just write because I write. I don't care. I didn't tell them to do it.
Right.
We need...
You gotta know you have responsibility out here.
And she recognized that in you. Mm-hmm. That's why. How did the conversation go when you met her?
I've never talked to her. I've never met her.
What?
Still, like, they said, like, send the script. So I wrote it. I wrote the script out. I was like, oh my God, I gotta write a script. So I'm trying to write her parts and my parts. And I sent them to her, and they sent me a voice note back that she recorded on her phone in some hotel because it was labeled as that. And I was like, she's so good. So I got her parts, and I had to go home and place them because I placed them, and then I had to figure out how I'm going to act between these, you know.
Y'all sound like y'all were in the same room.
No, she sent that, and I put it all together.
Wow.
At home.
Rap's a producer. Did I mention that in her intro? Rap's a producer. We got a lot of people online, so I'm going to spread it out through the room, though. HB, you want to holler at your sister here?
Yeah, man. So good to see you.
You
think
too.
Always.
I got to thank you for always sending me notes, too. Like, I know, but it meant a lot. She would always, like, randomly just send me a DM, but it was mad. I ain't going to say what you would say, but I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, Heather.
No, Sway and I, as he mentioned, we have a lot of conversations, and I just think as you are learning, it's important to follow your spirit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Lord, I don't even have her phone number. Like, what do you mean? And so that's how the information will come. So what may feel like, the timing of it all is not me. It's just truly was on my spirit, and I was just being obedient. So thank you. And every time I see you, I feel that way. That's why I think we always hug and embrace the way that we do, because as Sway mentioned earlier, it's hard. Like, it's just a hard game to be in. You chose to walk the way you walk and talk the way you talk, and sometimes people don't know what to do with that. But I think as long as you know what to do and you have those guidelines along the way, you'll end up all right and on the other side of that. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad for the lessons, because I feel and I know ultimately you're gonna see all those blessings as well, and we're gonna watch you be blessed in it. So thank you for sharing and being so open with everything. The last time Sway and I saw you, though, we were in D.C.
At the Kennedy Center.
Shout out to Latifah, because
Kennedy Center honors.
At the Kennedy Center honors, and you performed and crushed it, and I was just sitting up there watching you and just screaming and cheering and rooting for everybody. What was that like for you, though? Because I know Latifah was somebody I watched. You know what I mean? And so to get that call must have just been like, and I know y'all are cool and work together, but what was that like for you up there?
I was all nerves, super nerves, because I wanted to do it at the best of my ability for her, because she deserved that. And it was just a hectic time. They had been trying to get in touch with me for some time and had the wrong contact. And Ebony ended up getting my number. She texted me like a week before that whole event.
Oh,
What?
And she said, we've been trying to get in touch with you, Rap. I want you to do this for Latifah. And of course I said yes. I didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to finish the album. So it was like, I cannot mess this up, not only for the event, but for who it's for.
Absolutely.
And so for me, it was really hectic because it meant so much, because she means so much to us in the culture.
Yes.
You know, like, she's one of my biggest inspirations. She's one of the reasons that I rap, that I knew I could rap, because I got to saw a woman in that space.
100%.
You know, that I show up the way I show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she taught me how to hold you, you know,
Absolutely.
be proud of who you are. And then just how, you know, she's championed me and helped me out. And yeah, I was like, woo.
You killed it. You would have never thought,
you.
you know, what you was dealing with and going through at that time, because your performance was excellent. You held yourself and represented for her and for us, like, women doing it. It was great. Like, me, Sway, and we were just sitting in the, like, yeah. And they was like, get those rowdy people from out this section. But it was dope.
I appreciate. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, it's a room.
And that's
it's
a room.
Very stoic
the
room.
president was there.
of the United States was looking down at you.
And you know, we hip hoppers, so we used to the energy, like, and I walk out there and there's no, you know, people looking at you, and I'm like, even to like what I wear, and I was like, no, I gotta show up hip hop, like, I gotta wear the door knockers, you know, I gotta
absolutely.
have, you know, I'm looking at the steps, like, nigga, don't trip, like. Like, it was just so much, but I'm so blessed to do it.
You were great, and I
Thank
just wanted to tell you that again, face to face.
Thank you. It was so good seeing both of y'all there.
Come on.
fun.
It was reassurance.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing you after the show, and you was like, how did I mess up? I think I missed a line. I said, nobody
like,
know
girl,
you missed a
nobody
line.
I definitely missed the line.
That's like the senator didn't notice.
Some of the people in there was 90 and sleep. Me and Sway was rocking with you. They was sleep. It was 90.
All right. We're going to come back. We got Rapsody hanging out with us. She got a song called 3 a.m.
Yeah, with Badu.
That's my favorite on the album.
Is it?
Badu.
Why is that? Because it's
it's Erykah Badu. The song, probably, of course, because of what this album was made out of, is that record. And two, like, we weren't in the studio together, but she would FaceTime me, text me. So to be able to build a friendship with her through art like that, it was an experience for me.
It's just something you could, because Erykah's been through it, you know. It wasn't easy becoming Erykah Badu, but she never bent, like Heather's saying. She never compromised a damn thing.
Nothing.
Right? What kind of, like, information did she give you? What kind of reassurance or gems?
She was sending gems before, like, we really built a solid friendship like we have now. I remember the very first piece of advice she gave me was like 2009.
Okay.
And she told Knife, like, it was something along the lines of she has to work on. I can't remember the question, but the advice was you have to be humble and confident at the same time. Like, it's a balance, right? And that stuck with me. You know, and I've been trying to work for a long time, but it was never the right time. But this time, like, we just be joking. She be sending me funny pictures, like it's like it's just really on some chill, and she pours into me.
Yeah.
You know, like what did she say that kind of took me by surprise? She was like, I think it was something along the lines of, like, you remind me of, you know, what this is, you know, like, why we love it. And it was something along those lines. I'm messing the words up, but I was, you know, because she does that for me. So, yeah, we had a conversation about love. She was dropping mad gems.
Oh, yeah. She's good at that, too, love.
Yeah.
She good at making people fall in love, too.
Get out, Sway. Leave your own show once
That's
again.
Erykah Badu right there. But I echo that sentiment. I think that's what I'm trying to say to you. You remind us of what this is supposed to be at its best.
Yeah.
Is what's needed to add to that sentence. At its best. You personify with a lot of us the energy that got us here for decades. And we just be looking for those moments because we know those moments, that energy is what's going to sustain this culture.
Absolutely.
It can't just go all one way.
No, it can't.
And you are one of the very few that represent the balance that's needed, right? And so I think just to add on to what she's saying, let's play this 3 a.m. real quick. We got Rapsody here, 888-742-3345. Okay, Rapsody is here, a.k.a. the Phoenix. We taking your calls, 888-742-3345. Smart questions only. All right, Todd is on the line from Jersey. Todd, what up, brother?
Hey, what part of Jersey?
What's going on, y'all? Good morning. Rapsody, first and foremost, thank you so much for the music you make. I wanted to give you your flowers. In July of 2019, I lost my mother. She was my great aunt. She raised me and like 8 other children, grandchildren, etc. And when I lost her, I was in a dark place. But the Eve album, when I tell you that album helped me to mourn my mother's passing, because in every song I heard a glimpse of just her and what she was doing. Wow. So I thank you for that, because that balance that you give us is extraordinary. I got 2 daughters, 12 and 9. They listen to you and love you. Just thank you for the music you make and for the example that you give us, for real.
Oh, thank you so much for those. I'm happy I could be a light during that time for you, you know, and I hope your heart has healed.
Oh, yeah, no, it definitely has. But that album, like literally every song, I could hear a different element of my mother. It would make me smile. It would make me cry. Like I went through all of the emotions, but it was really that album that helped me get through.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Hey, man. Hey, thank
you.
Todd, man, you a citizen. Wait till you hear the new one.
Yeah.
Okay, please don't cry.
Oh, yeah,
All right, cool.
You hung up on him
No, I
because he was
didn't.
from Jersey.
Wow,
Yes,
and
you
he had
did.
a beautiful share.
That's great. He did. It remind me of a lot of journalists are heralding this album as the best of your career.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You would agree with that?
Yeah, it felt like that. It's the most me. It's the most honest than anything I've ever put out. And I tell people, my other projects, it's not that I was faking anything, but I didn't know who I was completely. And some of the times I would, try to lean on other people's, how they carry themselves, what they like, how they thought I should show up and what I should rap about. But this one, it was all me, Ninth and Guru weren't even part of the creating process, and they've been part of every project.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that scary a little bit? Or?
Yeah, it was.
I would imagine.
It was very scary. You have to really learn to trust yourself over and over and over again until you don't question it anymore. So that's just what it was. And that's part of too, like outside of healing, why it took so long, and I found myself sometimes like going back, like playing things like, what do you think? But at the end, I would always come back and sit with myself, and I had to say, what feels good to you? There was a time when Ninth sequenced it. He had most of the songs. I would just send him stuff.
Is she speaking about Ninth Wonder? In case you don't know who she's speaking about.
Shout out to Knife. Knife. He be listening.
He sequenced it, and he sequences all of my albums. And I went back and I listened to it. I was like, nah, that's not the story I want to tell. These ain't even all the songs. So even sequencing was like different for me. But I sat there and I did it. So yeah, it's just everything clicked. I wasn't chasing anything. Yeah, I wasn't chasing like no validation. Like I wasn't worried about what they would think, how many we would sell, like anything. My goal was to connect with people, like you said. That was it. I was just like, man, I want to have a better connection with people. And in order to do that, I have to just show myself. So I just poured out. I was like, you like it or love it, I don't really care. That's how I felt, because it was for me. Yeah. Yeah, you poured a lot. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot in that picture. A lot of Kool-Aid in that picture. There was so much more I had to say. Really? So yeah, I did 360 plus songs for this album. God damn. What? Yeah. Well, I saw 22 when I first pulled the album. I was like, 22 tracks. What does that mean? I have a lot of versions. Of this album. 300 and how many? About 60 something. I don't know. It's something up there. And the first iteration of it was 26 tracks. I said, Rock is never going to let me put out an album with 26 tracks. So they were like, rap cut 4, So I go off running time. Yeah. I don't go off track numbers. Yeah. So I was like 26. The running time is still like an hour and 15 minutes. We good there. Miss Education, an hour and 16. You see?
That was a strong argument.
I love that. You can't argue that. Damn it. Yeah. Ooh, have you met Miss Hill yet?
Yeah. I met her several times throughout my career. You know, I'm finally at a place where, you know, I have a contact where I could, you know, just send her messages sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah, I opened up for her at the Barclays last year. And we got to have a conversation. You know, it was backstage, so I didn't make it too long, but it was the most I've talked to her in the space, too, after we had some rapport. So, you know, it was dope. And I just saw her last week, the Jimmy Fallon performance.
Okay.
Amazing.
Did you see that guy? Look at that guy right there. Does he look familiar to you?
You was there?
Yeah, I was there.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
When he came to get me, I was like, I can't remember where I saw him from. But
my homie Rob took a picture with you. Skinny,
yeah,
dark skin dude.
he dresses YG. Yeah. He has beautiful energy.
Good memory.
Yeah.
So that's Kalani. His mom manages Miss Hill.
Ah, okay.
So now you got another
Fire.
direct connect right there. He can just go tell his mama to call her.
Oh, that's love. Her whole team, they so amazingly kind and nice. Yeah. My experiences with her have always been kind and nice. So it's, you know, her and Erykah are my biggest inspirations.
Those the two, right?
Yeah.
So Miss Hill, now she's working on a second album, another album.
I've heard.
You heard the album?
No.
Oh, you sound like you said you heard the album.
No, I've heard that, you know, she's working on new music.
Did she tell you in the studio?
Did she tell me? No. We email each other. No, we're not in the studio together.
Yeah, y'all email each other ideas and concepts?
Right.
Rap, don't do it.
You bug it out. Come get him. Where's your mother? Where's your mother? Tell her the dentist.
I'll switch it up for you, Rap. I'll switch it up.
I would love to get the call that like, yo, Rap, come create with me. That would be like, I could be done.
You done right there, right? Thank you, hip hop.
I see it happen.
But I'm a fan, so just the idea of, you know, her wanting to share music, and I watch her now. She has a different glow. Like I emailed her and I told her this after I watched the Jimmy Fallon performance and Barclays and things. I said, you look like it felt when we all first started rapping. You remember when you first started rapping with your crew? Like, we was having fun. She looked like she having fun, and it's so beautiful to see. I don't know if that's really the experience, but that's what it looks like. And, you know, it's exciting. Like, I want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to hear what y'all say together.
Me too.
Okay. We'll world premiere.
Tell your mother.
Take advantage of the moment. Rapsody, I gotta say, and this is how we all feel in this room, I just really admire you being out loud with your softness, out loud with your strength, especially when it comes to these very tender moments of life when you gotta face the woman in the mirror. Yeah. And when I've had to do that at the end of romantic relationships that kicked off my own healing, and I'm grateful for that, oftentimes I like to connect all the dots back to like my childhood.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts.
I'm curious for you, especially because personally, I don't know a lot of those who grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. Are you able to share how your childhood and that experience shaped the way you loved as the younger version of yourself and how it's impacted the way you love as an adult?
That's a great question. I think for me, like, I didn't really know how to love, I think, because of that space. You know, you were supposed to be straight and narrow. You know, you go find you a husband, no premarital sex, no holding hands, nothing like that. Like, you date, but when you marry, you know, and even conversations about sex, my mom didn't really have with me. If she did, they were very short and very raw. You know, like, I remember being young and asking her like what sex is, and she was, you know, like, a man gets between your legs and moves up and down. Like, I was like, okay, you know, like, I don't know if I necessarily attribute that to being a Jehovah's Witness, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a combination of things that plays a part, but also like just your family unit.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's more that than anything. Being a Jehovah's Witness always grounded me because they're so like we're not of the world, so it was never about being famous. It's not about what you have. It was all about operating in love. No matter who you are, your skin color, that keeps me grounded. So, that was the big thing. But my love issues come from like watching my mom and daddy.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they're both very loving people, but they grew up how they grew up. My dad's mom and dad weren't together and they didn't have the best relationship. My mom's mom and dad were very loving, but nothing's perfect either. So, they didn't communicate very well.
Yeah.
They argued a lot. I was so nervous for her to hear me talk about those things. I never wanted her to feel like, I didn't want her to feel bad about it because she, you just recognize she's human. And she called me and she was like, people love you because you're just honest. She was like, me and your dad, we have our stuff, but, we get through it. But I'm glad that, you're sharing it and that you're growing. So, they didn't communicate. So I didn't know how to communicate. I saw them when they had a disagreement, they yelled at each other. So what did I do about relationships? I yelled too. I wasn't comfortable with being like sex because I didn't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
I hung around a lot of boys. I didn't have a lot of homegirls in that way. So we didn't have those talks or conversations. I had older sisters, but they didn't have those talks with me. So it was like, I had to learn a lot, about love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
We all are.
I'm bouncing all over your question.
No, that's good. We all Mike Muse jumping in it, man.
Yeah, I love the energy that you brought into this room. I love how settled you are. Your energy seems really at peace.
Yeah, I am.
I think it's showing in the very intentionality with your words. I've been watching you. You've been seeming very intentional, and I think that's brilliant. You said something, and I hope it doesn't get lost on people, but you said, I no longer am looking for the validation of others, and I think this is the reason why I make my best art and album. And I think we're going through an era right now where some of our top artists are no longer seeking validation, and they're giving us their best.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think there's something to be said with that. But the question I have, though, for you is, you started this journey 4 years ago in 2020, and so we're in 2024. I'm just curious, when you are performing these songs now, where you're listening back, is that part of your healing process too as well? Because you've grown so much in those 4 years.
Oh, absolutely. I listen and I look back and it's more of like I'm proud of myself. Like we got through it, because when you're in it, feelings like, is this feeling gonna ever go away? Am I ever gonna be okay? You know what I mean? Or just the idea of like I'm gonna do this, like the fear that I had. Like I was super scared to put this project out because of the judgment that came with it. And it's like I still decided to, but I was like, the fear of it I'm gonna feel, and that could be crippling sometimes. So I listen to it now and I'm just proud,
Yeah.
That's the best word that I could have, because I really leaned in and I wanted to do the work and I did it no matter how hard it was. And I'm thankful because I had my guides along the way. Like, God was one for sure. Like my relationship with God is so much more tighter. But I had friends that were like mile markers for me, that put up the mirror that would help me get to the next level. Because through your healing process, you heal, but sometimes you go take a few steps back, and you gotta. It's not like a linear thing. So it's like to look back and see the steps and to see where I am now and how I feel and to have peace. You don't know what peace really feels like until you have it, right? And I'm just like, I've never felt anything like this before. Even when putting out the album, I said this feels really different, but I understand why. It's because before I wasn't ready for this, and now I'm ready, so I'm able to attract the things. You know what I'm saying? You don't attract the things until you're ready to receive them.
Yes.
So I had to do a lot of healing in order to carry whatever's coming. And
Rhapsody, man. Come on.
That's real.
Rhapsody.
What's like?
Oh, looking at you now, huh?
I've grown up a lot. You remember the first time I sat in this chair? I think I had on my little Lakers and my denim. I dressed better too. I be like, I was broke.
Wow, man.
I had to shop at the mall.
Oh, wow, real quick, right? You was buying fake jerseys, pretending like they were real.
Don't do that.
Nah, it was true, man. I remember.
Yes, you're so right.
It's so true. Rhapsody is, but I am looking at you like, because I'm thinking about those early days and seeing where you are is amazing, and it makes me happy. I think we all are happy, and I'm happy about the end result when it comes to your music. All right, I got Lori on the line. I want to let her speak because she's been on hold. Lori, go ahead.
What up, Lori?
Thank you so much. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Babes.
Yes, we made it. Another week in the hole.
We made it.
Miss Rhapsody, I want to give you a shout out. My husband is the big hip hop head. Shout out to Jeff. He definitely kept bigging you up to me. And in December of 2017, I took him to the Baltimore soundstage to see you perform.
Oh, wow.
That was my first exposure to you. And I have seen you at the Kennedy Center twice, because I do love the women in hip hop honors that they do, which I think is amazing. I can appreciate your rawness and your honesty, and like a Heather B and the females of hip hop that have something to say, you really have something to say. And with doing that, you have another fan. My husband has already heard your album already. The first thing this morning. Couldn't wait.
A good album.
Yo, thank
He
you.
couldn't wait. I'm looking forward to listening to it, and just listening to you talk this way and be able to share your humanistic, as Tracy G said, your humanness about what you've been through, what you are persevering through, is just great to hear. Again, you make it connectable. And I think that's the reason that I now am gravitating to you. So just wanted to congratulate you on your album and say I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words. I do want to talk about Nico Brim with you.
Nico Brim.
We love
Nico Brim is someone who has been coming to this show since the very beginning.
Facts.
His father and I were signed to Giant Warner Brothers.
That's right.
As young men. That's how I know Nico. And so supporting his JoJo Brim and his mom.
Shout out to Misa.
And Misa.
Love you.
We love Nico, but Nico happens to be extremely talented.
Very, very talented.
Right?
Yes.
And Nico Brim kind of alluded to something when he was on the show last time about working with you.
Yes.
I think I hit you up about it. Or me and you.
We talked about it.
We talked about
I
it.
hit you about him coming to that particular show.
That's
I
right.
told you, I said he's my artist.
Rhapsody has an artist.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Rhapsody is an official music business executive. You have an artist. What's your company?
The company is called We Each Other. It's a creative agency, so we have a record label, but we also want to get into film, and other creative ventures. I have a business partner. His name is Andre Mego.
Okay.
And he's also a creative as well. But we just got together, and it was something that I wanted to do. And this is my last album on Jamla Records.
Okay.
And I'm so thankful for that journey and everything that Ninth and Guru poured into me. But I know, like, I tell people we have to leave the nest over and over in life. And I've learned so much there that it's now time for me to go take everything I learned and teach somebody else and make room over there for somebody else to come through. Like, it's always family. So I started this label, and I had been working with Nico since 2018.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm a person, like, outside of talent, I gotta like your spirit.
Yeah.
And he has such a beautiful spirit, and he's a beautiful talent. And we was working together so much it only made sense. So, he's my first artist on We Each Other.
Nico Brim, man. He's a producer too, right?
Nico.
He produced. He plays bass. He can sing a little bit. Just dope creative.
Congratulations, Nico Brim. So what can we expect from Nico Brim? You have any releases coming? You the boss now.
Yeah.
How you gonna roll them out? You give them a 360 deal kind of deal? Okay.
Nah.
Wait, hold up, Heather. I'm trying to figure what she gonna do. Kind of
That's
deal.
right.
Yeah.
I'm a solid individual.
Okay.
We haven't even done paperwork yet.
Okay.
Ninth never did paperwork on me. Never. Like, we cut from the cloth of loyalty and honor and respect. We got morals, so it's but I'm gonna do it just so he understands the business.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna make sure it's fair. But we're gonna start working on his next album. I'm gonna executive produce it with him.
Come on.
You know, he's gonna go on tour with me. The tour was announced today, so if you go to ironrhapsody.com, there's the European dates, the North American dates, and we'll be adding other foreign dates later. But,
Wow.
Yeah.
Rhapsody, man. I'm shit.
Congratulations. That's dope, man.
Hand me some tissue.
No.
Oh, come on.
Please don't cry.
Hand me some
Sway.
tissue, man.
Please don't cry.
You are not crying.
I will cry for
He
you,
do.
Rap. I
He
do
cries a
cry,
lot.
man.
He's a dancer.
I'm a man who does it now. Well, after the breakup, I
He's
started.
still healing. Yeah, he started crying.
I've been crying since that
Me
breakup.
Me too.
It feels good though.
It does. I don't like carrying that around.
Me
so you gotta
neither.
let it out.
What's the name of your album?
Please don't cry. But it's why you should cry.
That's right. Come on, Rhapsody. Congratulations. The name of the label one more time.
We Each Other. Shouts to WeEO.
WeEO. Okay. All right. This has been an awesome experience.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
Come back. Don't worry about the verse.
I got one for you though.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You've done enough work up to this point. Don't worry about it today is what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. I've been telling them though, like, people been asking me to come freestyle at they different places. I was like, I'm only going to freestyle for Sway. That's it. I did Justin, but I was like, it's only Sway.
Thank you.
So,
Okay. Well,
you know.
okay. If I see a freestyle
real
out
one.
there, I'm gonna chase you.
Not,
I'm gonna
you
find
not,
you. All right.
not.
You and your crew. I ain't scared of them. I said it. Yeah. All right. But you are so amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Stay the course. You see now. As this stuff starts to blossom, you were doing the right thing. You all, even perhaps in your perplexities and confusion of it all, why? You were always doing the right thing, and now it's the right time.
Yeah.
Okay.